A person who has been impacted by crime has ended up sitting across from an inmate who has committed that crime. And then that healing that happens for both people is profound.
I was in my mid-20s when I first met FTC. I was flabbergasted by how all these people I could deem as successful come talk to us and treat us as human beings.
People commit crimes. They're still human beings.
People ask me, well, why do you keep going to the prison, for 20 years, going out there to the prison?
I'm a new guy.
This is my first workshop ever.
This weekend is my first weekend.
I fly across the country every time I do one of these workshops, from Washington, D.C. out to California.
From just one person who wrote a letter and kept writing letters until a couple of other people said yes and came in, to 20 years later, what it's grown into. It has changed my life because I've become a better communicator.
I arrived here at Valley State Prison in 2012, already having participated in various self-help groups. I have honestly never experienced or been as inspired by the members or facilitators of any groups until my experience here in Freedom to Choose.
I was an angry little kid. I dealt with a bunch of domestic violence, seeing that in my family. I also was involved in a lot of family drama, as you can say, and I grew up around a lot of molestation, and I was a victim myself. My father was an alcoholic, and my mother, she was a pill user. So when she didn't have that, it was hectic in the house. Bad choices and staying in those bad choices allowed for me to commit the crime that I did do, to go to prison. While in prison, I was heavily involved in a lot of illegal activities. Sold drugs for a long time, thinking I was getting away with it, but I really wasn't, because I was getting locked up for every single note that was dropped. So when you told me that this was something that you felt so strongly about, and because you wanted a change within our system, our culture needed to change, and there's something better than what we were used to. You did it in a lovingly forceful way. You said, sister, I think this would be a good thing for us, and I would love to have your support. And because it was you, and I knew you wouldn't ask me anything that, would be detrimental to me, I was like, okay, I got you. You came in there with open heart, and then you opened up your heart to me. You are a beautiful soul, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for stepping in, coming in that day and choosing me. Nothing can ever take away that moment from me and that feeling of acceptance.
It was a lot of chaos, a lot of things that I didn't understand. It was difficult coming into the system at the age of 19 and being sentenced to 30 years and 4 months with a life hanging over me. So it was scary in the beginning. In 2008, I said, you know what, enough is enough. I got tired. I hit my rock bottom. I was tired of being selfish and doing and living for me alone. And that the world, the existence was bigger and greater than just myself. That I wasn't the end all be all. It was a feeling of relatability, a sense of appreciation, and probably the biggest thing that I experienced was allowance. It was a sense of allowance that I could be myself. I had not to be anything other than myself. And so for me, that was probably the biggest thing, the sense of allowance. It was peaceful. I'm someone who loves education, someone who will never stop learning, someone who enjoys volunteer work, someone who's thoughtful, deep, spontaneous, someone who knows he has the freedom to choose, who's flexible, who has friends that he can reach out to.
Humanizing the inner sanctum of the prison is probably the best thing that anyone can do.
95% of incarcerated people will re-enter society.
Once you learn the tools, it's something that you have forever.
This is work that everyone needs.
Taking a moment between stimulus and response to respond and not react. I wish this for every single solitary soul on the planet.
It allows people to take responsibility for their life. They're incarcerated. They can walk around in a victim's mentality of woe is me and this world's not fair, or they can look at how they arrived here.
I thought I was going into a prison environment with the primary purpose of service, but right away it was so clear that these men actually were also there in service for us.
I would encourage anybody to get involved.
It heals my soul. It warms my heart.
I think it's been such an enormous blessing in my life.
Come and try and see what it's like, because you think you're helping the participants, but in truth, you're really healing your own soul.
This is a beautiful, loving way to open our hearts, to flower our hearts, and have compassion for each other.
You will have the biggest gift of your life if you get involved with Freedom to Choose.
I am just so grateful to Freedom to Choose and to those who have said yes and continue to say yes. So just say yes.